Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering fuego releases from Gongwon Sonyeon, NCT Dream, Astro, and Taeyeon. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including crazy collabs and features set for May, full lineup plus details of Mnet's Good Girl revealed, and BTS's Map of the Soul World Tour rescheduled. So prepare your body, rev that engine, because today we riding. Hit me with that intro. Hey, what's up everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 85, and we're recording on Monday, May 4th, 2020. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hello there.
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Sub to the SojuTalk YouTube channel, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the SojuTalk Nation. Announcements. Number one, Anita's back. So, hello, Anita.
Hello.
Hello.
And the second one is, I know last week we didn't deliberate if any songs were certified spicy. We did it off camera, and I am happy to announce that Chungha's Stay Tonight is certified spicy. So shout out to Chungha. But that's kind of it in terms of announcements. But we are now at part one of SojuTalk episode 85, where we discuss big new releases, take a quick rewind, and hit you with the music show winners. Let's get it. So we have 4 songs this week. Back on April 28th, we had Gongwon Sonyeon with Bazooka. April 29th, Wednesday, we had NCT Dream with Ridin. And today, on April 4th, Monday, we had Astro with Knock and Taeyeon with Happy. Let's start at the top, though, with Gongwon Sonyeon, Bazooka. Alright, so they are from Kiwi Pop. They debuted back in 2018, and their last 3 songs were Red Sun, Pinky Star, Puzzle Moon. I think that's all their title tracks, and they have 0 music show wins so far. Do you want to go first, Warren? I know you're a big Gongwon Sonyeon fan.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the world's biggest Gongwon Sonyeon fan. I like them. I like them. I don't like them as much as I like. Actually, if I had to pick 5 girl groups that I like, they would probably be 5th.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. Well, that being said, I do think it's something that I didn't expect, but somewhat expected, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, continue.
I expected change, but like I wasn't sure what kind of change it would be, and I got that change. You know, if you know what I'm saying. Like, so it was a reasonable amount of change from what they used to have, and what they used to have is kind of like mystical, like cutesy, very bubblegummy, like house based deep house kind of stuff, and it strayed a little bit away from that. They still have like that deep house vibe, but now they're leaning a little more towards just electro pop in general, and that's coming out nicely. And apparently this track is supposed to be like a connection between the trilogy that led up to here and the next set of trilogy.
Okay, well that makes sense, because I was confused as to why things were changing.
Right. It's like the key between those 2 like trilogies, and hence all over the cover art there's a key, and like all over the music video, like Mia's running around with like, I got the key, you know. That's what's going on. That being said, I hope they're not going full girl crush. I hope that's not what they're doing, because I feel like they're slowly inching in that direction, and I get that. I get it. I know it's the big thing right now, but do I need another group that has girl crush as their main concept? I'm not sure, to be honest. And it's definitely not the same kind of girl crush as like I would imagine like Everglow to do, or like G-Idol. But at the same time, there is a lot of groups in that weird limbo between like pop, like bubblegum, and like cutesy kind of girl crush. And I'm like, we have a lot of these groups. Do we need this many groups doing that thing? I don't know. But coming back to the song itself, you know, it was a very, you know, fun song. There was a lot of, I think, what I like to call good instrumental choices. You know, the instruments kind of felt like they stick to each other very well.
That's a good point. That's my number one point too. It was like nice bass and funk going on throughout the song.
Very funky. Remember that part where there's like pianos leading up to the chorus?
Yep.
That was really nice. That being said, there was a point in the music video where Mia, she's the Japanese one, short hair, kind of tall, has a cat thing going on in a good way. That, no offense to cats or Mia for that matter, but there's a scene, Mia, look her up, you know her face. There's a scene where she sorry, what?
I like her. I think she's my favorite member so far.
Me too.
she wasn't for me, but she might be now. I don't know. I never really cared that much for her, to be honest. Not that I dislike her or anything, but whatever. Mia, she was in the music video.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the music video.
I hope she was in the music video.
You know what? Maybe she wasn't. Okay, she was in the music video, and there's a part like midway through where she's like holding around the key, and then it cuts to her like really like brightly smiling, and like hugging the members, and they all seem like they're having fun.
Oh yes, okay. Mm-hmm.
That was like the most like, maybe it's not genuine, I don't know, but it felt like the most like heartfelt, genuine, happy moment in K-pop I've seen in a long time. And it just made me feel so good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are you lonely, fam?
no, it's just I saw a very happy person, and that made me happy. You know, like,
You want to be hugged, bro?
give me a virtual hug, Douglas.
No,
Help.
no. Continue.
Anyway.
Anyways, it was a good song. I liked it. I really genuinely liked it. There's not really much to rip apart here or like dissect. It's just light-hearted pop, good vibes, and it's kind of what I want from K-pop. So, yeah, bada bing, bada boom, good stuff. Diggity dig.
Yeah, I'll go next. I think this is a good song, right? Let me just preface everything I'm going to say with that.
Good.
I think this is a good song. As I said earlier, nice bass and funk elements. I personally felt, because I didn't know what's going on in their progression or whatever, I was missing some of that Gongwon Sonyo like house stuff. You know what I mean? You got the stuff. I was missing some of it.
Hey man, you got the house stuff.
Because I felt like Gongwon Sonyo as a rookie group, they're from Kiwi Pop, which is a tiny company, right? Like who knew of them before Gongwon Sonyo, right? I thought that they had something very unique going on. I thought that their sound allowed them to expose themselves to a broader audience just because it was so different than what everyone else was doing at the time, right? Now, as you said, they're kind of doing more of a common style now, and I think it might hurt them a little because I know they've established a decent fan following relative to the company size, right? But at the same time, it's like I wanted them to like keep going with this identity. Maybe that was just me, but at the same time, I think Bazooka's a fine song. It's like definitely like an earworm song, the one that kind of gets stuck in your head. Like, yeah, whatever he just did.
Yeah.
And if that's what they're going for, they definitely accomplished that. I felt like this song had some Rocket Punch vibes. Now I don't know if I'm wrong with that.
Okay, I have comments about that.
Okay,
personally, if this was what was the second song? My goodness. Oh,
Bouncy? No.
Yes, Bouncy. Yeah.
You don't even remember the title song name?
I erased it from my memory. If this came out, if this was a song that Rocket Punch came back with instead of Bouncy, I would have been so happy.
Oh.
I would have been so happy. This is all I ask for. Just normal poppy goodness. Not I
feel like we're beating a dead horse at this point, though. To be honest, like I don't think Bouncy's like that terrible as we joke about it, but I don't know. It kind of has that reputation around these parts. But
move on. Yeah.
Lastly, Kiwi Pop is it's like a smaller company, as I said, but the first 3 music videos and concepting, I couldn't tell they were a small company. This music video, out of lack of a better way to say it, I could tell that they were a small company. Like, in terms of set choice and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, the production, maybe it's just me, but like, if you compare what's going on in this music video versus Puzzle Moon, right? Vastly different levels of production value. Now, it might be one of those things like they really pumped in a lot more money than they should have at the front to get the ball rolling. So now they're regressing back to where about the amount of money they should be spending. But I thought it was fairly evident throughout. But overall, good song. Not my favorite, but I think it's a good song. What about you, Anita?
I guess I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I really like the sound for them.
Really?
I think I was pretty interested by their previous releases. Their meaty electronic sound was really cool. At times I feel like it could have seemed a little much as far as going in that direction, but I liked how they made it work, or like they added that kind of instrumental in this comeback. Because I don't know, for me it felt a lot more, how should I say it, like more clean, like more approachable, I guess. And I don't know, I generally like this type of sound where it seems very like runway type of beat, very something you would hear at a store like H&M, you know, something very very
That's very
poppy
true.
but clean. So I don't know, I really like this. I think this is probably my favorite from them so far.
Really?
I really like, yeah.
Wow.
I think it's really
puzzle
catchy.
mood. Man, okay.
I mean, I like their other stuff too, but I think so far this might be my favorite. I like the styling. I think I noticed a lot of the eye makeup they use for some members was really interesting,
Yes.
really nice. A lot of glitter, graphic eyeliner. I really liked that they're keeping up this very like androgynous look for Mia.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it suits her very well, I mean, I think it's a good thing for the group to have a member that's kind of distinguishable like that. So I like that they're keeping that up. I don't know. I think overall for me, I don't mind that they're going in this direction, because I like this kind of sound. I guess when Warren mentioned that this is going to be like the beginning of a new step in their sound, right? Like the key that they keep mentioning.
It's apparently the connection between the two trilogies is how
Right.
they marketed it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that makes more sense because I feel like I was missing something with the whole key storyline they had going on in the music video, but that makes more sense if that's what they're going for.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like I really like this for them.
I
hope
like
they
them
do
as a
more.
group. I think that
Yeah.
they're like, you know, I always talk about expectations, right? If you think about like where they should be for song, like number one, they've gotten 4 songs, right? That's great. And
Right.
it's, like essentially from a Nugu company. They have like a really decent fan following. I saw that they were posting on r/Kpop from their own account yesterday.
Wait, what?
That w-
Really?
Yeah, they were posting directly, so that's they're utilizing what they got, right? They're smart about it, and I don't know
Smart.
what their status is in Korea. I doubt it's very large, but in the West, we definitely like them.
Yeah.
Right.
One last thing, they have a member named Lena. She's like the center kid, the main focus. Is it me or does she have One Young things going on in terms of the way she looks?
What?
I think she looks a little like One Young. I don't know.
Okay, like a tad bit.
If you told me it was like One Young's cousin, I'd be like, yeah, maybe.
Related.
Yeah, but overall
She
though,
both look very
I
young.
think
Okay.
Gongwon Sonyo's definitely doing some good things.
Yes.
I might not be the biggest fan of Bazooka because I prefer Pulsar Moon, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say this is a bad song. So overall, props to them for keeping up. I'm interested to see if they continue this trend though. That's the main thing. Let's move on to, I'm going to say this was the biggest release of the last week. So NCT Dream's Ridin, they are from SM. They debuted back in 2015. Last 3 NCT Dream songs specifically were Boom, We Go Up and Go. 5 music show wins so far. So before we get to some talking about the song, the EP Reload topped iTunes album charts in 49 countries and achieved the 5th highest first day album sales in Hanteo history with around 370,000 albums sold. So
Wow.
regardless of if you like Riding or not, it sold well. So
Wow.
I know
crazy.
Warren has some takes about Riding, but we're gonna
Oh,
hold
always
them
does.
off a little. I'm gonna let Anita talk first about this song because she is the biggest NCT Dream fan among the 3 of us. So Anita, what do you think of Riding?
Well, first of all, I guess I'll just go through what I noticed first, but I noticed again that they started the song with the chorus. So NCT 127 did a similar thing with Kick It, and it's still a little jarring to me because I guess I'm not very used to this kind of progression in a song. But I don't know if it has that effect of not making the chorus seem very new when it actually comes back again throughout the song.
That's a good point. No, okay,
Because-
yeah.
Yeah. I
No,
had
that
that
let's talk
problem.
about that. Let's talk about that.
Mhm.
You want to talk about that? Okay.
No, that's real. That's what it is. Cause I was like, for some reason, I'm like, all right, I get this chorus, but it doesn't feel especially when the first time you listen to the song, by the time you get to the chorus, you're like, all right, they're just repeating what I saw at the beginning. I got you. But then it means that they're adding the chorus technically one more time than an average song, right? Most songs will do the chorus like 3 times, but because of the way they set it up, they're doing it 4 times, right?
I mean, it's not crazy uncommon to begin with the chorus. It's done here and there. It's obviously not the most popular format of a song out there, but like I'm sure there are lots of songs that do that. The thing is, when they usually do that, they really have to take care of pacing. Pacing is really important. Kick It does that, where they do the intro first, and then they right they do the bomb bomb and then they go into like this didn't have that. It had a bunch of sirens going on in the background, and the next thing you know, it's like the chorus. And that's not how they work, man. That's not how that works. I'll save this for a bit.
Yeah, save this for a bit.
Yeah,
I need to keep going.
So that was the first thing I noticed, and I don't know, it was interesting that they were kind of doing the same kind of progression for the song as Kick It did it. I don't know if it's produced by the same people. I didn't check, but if it is, then I guess that would explain a little bit. But it was interesting. I found it does make me feel a little different about the chorus, though, I think. Also, the vocals in the chorus were very interesting. I don't think they appear in the first time you hear it, but in the second time the chorus comes up, you hear this vocal in the background. It's like a background vocal, but I don't know who it is because it doesn't sound like any of the members, and it has a very early EXO vibe to it.
Yep.
Like I would say, I could almost see like Dio or Baekhyun singing that line, but I don't know who it is. I don't know who is singing it from Dream. So
are you talking about the? Are you talking about the chops where like it's like the repeated like vocal thing where it's like wow
no,
that thing or
no. She's talking about there's some points where someone's singing and then there's all of a sudden 2 voices and
it's a layered vocal, but it's kind of in the back and it's kind of goes like it hits like a high note towards the end of the chorus, and I like it. It's not bad. It's just that it threw me off because it didn't sound like any of the main vocalists of the group. It sounded very EXO. It sounded like Dio, Baekhyun. So that was interesting. But I don't know. It's a very interesting song. I really like the choreography. Very simple, nothing too complicated, but it's catchy. I feel like there's a lot of point moves that I think people will be able to recreate. I also felt like the styling very, very much in line with the Boom era. I would say like more mature, like a darker concept. I also noticed that Renjun had like a anti-eyebrow piercing type of decoration, which JB from GOT7 has, but like for real. So that was interesting that they decided to go with that. But yeah, I like the song. I don't know if it's my favorite from NCT Dream, but it's definitely catchy. And I don't mind that they're moving forward with this styling, this concept from Boom, which is more like a little bit on the darker side, not necessarily the bubblegum pop that they had when they debuted. But it's interesting that it's in this vibe, I guess.
All right, I'll go next because I know Warren has some things to say. But my main take was that this song just screams SM, right? Like this is one of the most SM sounding songs I've heard in a while. It's like clearly the music video, they spent a lot of money, right? That whole backing vocal / harmony thing they do is very it's very EXO, but it's also SM. SM does that, right? I thought just the overall polish is good. And as Anita mentioned, I got real EXO vibes throughout most of this song.
Yeah.
Like, really heavy. Now, I think this song's okay. Is it my favorite NCT Dream song? No, to the extent that I prefer Boom over Ridin, personally. I think Boom was the better song. But is this bad? I don't think it's bad. I think it's good, though. There's one guy in this. Okay, I don't have a bias in this group, right? Like I can barely recognize anyone. There's this guy Jaemin, right? Boy with the blue hair, bro. he stuck out so much throughout this entire song for some reason.
Yeah, he was center a lot.
He was the center a lot. The visuals were on point. Killing the blue hair. I might have a thing for guys with blue hair because the next song too, there's a guy with blue hair that I'm gonna talk about. But it's interesting to see because if we think about it, NCT Dream, this is their last song with the current format of the group, right? Because they're gonna re-add Mark. I think that was the news we got 2 weeks ago, something like that. I wonder if it's going to be similar to what we're getting now. Are they going to change things up? Who knows? Because the older the members of NCT Dream get, right? The sound that they have and the sound that NCT 127 are getting closer and closer together.
Overlapping a bit.
Right? I don't think that's because at the beginning, you think of NCT Dream, they were like really bubblegum-y, I would say.
Yes.
And now they've gone into more like mature sound, which is fine, but at the same time you already got a group that does that, like almost exclusively. NCT 127 does this, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen going forward. But we are now at Warren. Let's see what you want to say about this song.
You keep hyping it up like I hate the song with my guts. I don't.
Okay.
It's
what's the take though? Tell us the take.
The entire take is that the song is well produced, but none of it works. That's my take. Which sounds bad, but it's not. It's not. I don't hate the song. I just don't like it. Right? There's a clear difference there. Let's going back to the structure and the problem and that the chorus and most of the song itself repeats a single melody. There's like a melodic repetition, a thematic, like a melody theme going on here, which is like da 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 that thing.
Yeah.
It's in the vox chops. It's in the instrumentation. It's in the chorus like twice, and it's in the verses. It's kind of everywhere, which is fine if that was interesting. And to me, it didn't come off that interesting, to be honest with you. And then, and that's what the song began with. The chorus, the vox chops, they have an overlapping melody to it. Not super interesting, not a well paced in kind of thing, not super interesting to hear. I don't know. Already I kind of lose interest there. And then the chorus hits again after the verse, which okay, I expected that. But I didn't feel like there was a good buildup of emotions. One thing I have with K-pop in general, right, and especially the boy groups, is that they have a very specific way of singing. There's like a K-pop trope here, There's that very Koreans call it bisong, and bi means beautiful, song is voice. So means bisong, it means voice, and it's that very like very boyish, Yeah. It's that very boyish kind of singing. It's the kind of singing that happens in the chorus. Do you kind of get what I'm saying, Douglas?
I'm confused, but keep going.
Well, if you go listen to the chorus, it's not like it's like like very like.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. Keep going.
And that's great. It's fine. It works for a lot of genres, suits a lot of K-pop, fits their character very well. Kind of shows its limitations when we're talking about genres like this, where I would want more dynamic energy, and that's not really coming out because of that limitation of this type of singing, added on with the repetitive production and not really well paced song. I get this. How long is this? Like 3 minutes, 4 minutes,
regular
3 minute 30 seconds of. I get this 3 minute 30 seconds of what seems like a very very repetitive song, but not in really any addictive way. Which happens because it's a series of bad mistakes. Not because they messed up big time everywhere. No, that's not what happened. They made some small mistakes here and there, and you end up with a situation where you have a bunch of jib jab web wab, mishmash of things where it's not really the best combination of things. Personally, that being said, it might be the best song for you. I don't know. Personally, if I had to rank all my favorite NCT songs in order, this would probably rank last.
That's fair.
When I think of NCT songs, I think of very, sometimes very experimental, sometimes very genre pushing, very trend leading. And here I feel like they're kind of following the trend. I feel like, you know, they're doing something that a lot of people, including EXO, has already done years and years and years ago. And I don't know. Again, I'm gonna echo what I said earlier with Kongon Sonyo. Do we need another group that does the dark concept? I don't know. But we'll see what happens.
Can we go back? Like, I think it's interesting that you're calling what Kongon Sonyo did a dark concept, though. Like, to be completely honest with you,
girl crush yet.
I don't even think it's really. I think that's like new bubblegum. It's like what bubblegum is these days.
Right, it's a new kind of bubblegum. That's honestly what it is, and I'm kind of not a big fan of that because it's not this or that. It's just a mishmash of this and that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but overall, though, I guess like it's not our favorite NCT Dream song. It might be yours, though. It could be, but
yeah,
still good, still great.
Personally, we have some other favorites, and honestly, that's the joy of listening to K-pop, because like you might like songs that we don't like, and the vice versa might be true. You might think some songs we like are hot trash, to be honest. But
wait. One more thing. If like a random group, you know, the Liddy Boys came back with, you know, the song, that's just a group name I made up.
Liddy Boys, okay.
If imaginary boy group, the Liddy Boys, came back with this song, I wouldn't be like, you know, very, you know, angry. It was like I had a certain level of expectation for NCT. This didn't really meet it. That's where I'm at, you know.
Well, the interesting thing is that 127 comes back, I believe, in 2 weeks. I want to 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, NCT 127 is coming back soon. So, do you know what? Do we know what this? I'm doing that thing where I don't have the info on hand, but one of you look that up as I will transition. So I'm gonna move on to the third song for this week. We have Astro's Knock. So they are from Fantagio. They debuted back in 2016. Last 3 songs were Blue Flame, All Night, Always You, One Music Show Win so far. Now, for me, I really like this song in terms of production and aesthetics. I thought that this was a very, extremely beautiful music video. The blue suits and clothing they're wearing is fire. The sets were cool. They had like the space mobile going on at one point. I liked all of that. I think that Astro's vocals are really, really stand out to me. I don't know who their main rapper is, but he has like a rough voice, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
He has like a rough delivery style with his voice. Mm-hmm. Sometimes for me, it takes me out of the song, to be honest. A little bit in this one, to be fair. Overall, though, I really like the chorus, but it took me a couple listens. This song took me maybe 4 listens to appreciate it, because they repeat the same like progression sound. I don't know it off the top of my head, but they do like the same progression 3 times in the chorus. And when they do the same thing in the chorus 3 times, and then we have the chorus 3 times, I'm getting the same progression 9 times in the song. But the good thing is that the choreo that they do during this chorus matches very well, right? So that's because if you think about what I'm talking about, they got 3 beats, right? At the end of it, they always hit the beats hard. So that is the good thing, but at the same time, I just don't like all the repetition, to be fair. Blue hair boy Moonbin, he's my favorite member of this group, to be honest. Very talented. He does a great job. Whenever he's on the screen, he was in a watery pool scene 2 music videos in a row now, I believe. He was also in one in Blue Flame, so that's a thing now for him. And overall, Chaonu, you know, visuals are no joke for sure. But Knock, I think it's a good song. It honestly, I think, is my favorite song this week.
Oh
wow. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. I'm thinking about it. It definitely is my favorite song this week. Do I think it's spicy? No, because, you know, the song I gotta weigh it against, y'all know that. I don't think it beats that one. But overall, I like Knock. I don't know if this is the song to, like, pop off Astro, but I do think it's a good song. So those are my takes. What about you, Warren?
I mean, okay. I went back and listened to the part you were talking about. I can see what you're talking about. I can see what you're talking about. It's the layered synths and the kick snare, that thing, right?
Just keep going, because I'll imitate it with my mouth.
You don't. Okay. All right. Well, that happens. I don't personally think that's too repetitive, but I can see that. I can see that. You know, that's a very like future bassy kind of drop, and it's just something that the genre likes to do. I don't think that's too crazy of a deal, but I do see that point.
Okay, it's the da, 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 da. They do that thing like a million times.
And the chord and the instrumental is like and the drums like kung kung snare. Kick, snare.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, because like I just thought it was like, all right, we're gonna do the same thing 3 times in a row. Like,
I get that. No, I don't think that's too crazy of you to say. I can see that. Yeah. So the drop feels very future based. I do feel like it's like a future based cliche, to kind of have something like that. I can see how that's a little boring though. The rest of the track is more like trap based, PB/R&B, melodic, R&B, PB/R&B kind of stuff. Nothing new, but it usually works when it happens. My complaint with the drop was that it wasn't really crisp, and this might totally be because I was listening to it through YouTube and not through Spotify. And sometimes they use a lesser version on YouTube. Sometimes they tend to use different variations.
There's a weird thing with the audio in this YouTube version. This music video, for some reason, is significantly like more quiet than the other songs we listened to this week.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't know what's going on, but it just, the audio quality, something happened, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's quiet. Maybe I didn't. It's not like I pulled out my monitoring, headphones to like listen to this. But at the same time, I do feel like I wanted a little bit more crispness. When you bite into fried chicken.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be all biscuity and just like mushy. No, you want that crisp. Have you seen those fried chicken ASMR videos?
I have.
When you bite, when they bite into it, you hear that like crisp, that sound. When you haven't seen those ASMR videos where they're cooking samgyeopsal or Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's raining.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I need that. Okay, because I'm saying that because you need that crispness, especially with like feature based and EDM kind of drops. That's the mix quality and master quality is where it all kind of boils down to.
Yeah.
And I even felt like they ducked too much of the instrumental behind the voice. I don't know what they did. It wasn't great. It, for the lack of a better word, felt a little too it felt a little too like sterile, like sanitary. I say that every now and then, but like when things are
keep going on.
Yeah, when things are too clean to the point where it's like a little weird, doesn't feel humane, like there's
no. If we go back to the issue with the YouTube video, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't YouTube like equalize most of the stuff to have around the same volume level?
No.
They don't?
No.
Something must have happened to this file then, because like, so I put all the songs in a playlist and I listen to them, right?
Right.
Every time this song comes on, I have to raise the volume by 50%.
Yeah.
Something's up with the audio on the video. I don't know what happened, but it did. And I haven't noticed that with like, it's not like this is a thing with Fantagio or Astro music videos. Just this specific file, something I think happened.
And,
who knows?
I mean, I would like to believe somebody did something on purpose. It's not an export mistake. This isn't willy-nilly SojuTalk, productions over here. This is like an actual, like, this isn't Warren Lee, the night before the podcast drops. Like, I'm sorry I didn't add the intro in. I'll go edit it. Like, that's not, no. I'm sure it was a purposeful decision somewhere they made. At the same time, I don't agree with the purposeful decision. What can I say? I don't think Doug does. I don't think a lot of people do. So, putting that out there. Besides that, though, I liked it. I like the guitars at the beginning. It's like it has the little dong dong. And it's like it's very reverby. Sounds like a big bathroom. It's very nice. That's not even a joke.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
No, Astro's in just kind of a weird spot. To be fair, because like, all right, so they're on year 4, right?
Really?
Yeah, they debuted back in 2016.
Wow. That's a little surprising.
The main member people know is Chaonu, not because he's an idol, but because he's an actor, right?
No. People know him because he's a genius.
Really?
Because he's a face genius.
Yeah.
Oh my. But All right, well, you just completely ruined my train of thought.
I know what you're saying though. They're not in the best place that a group should be in their 4 years because they rely on what seems to be an actor, not like.
No, okay. Well, here let's just talk. They got one music show win, right? Let me be sure. They got one music show win. They're in year 4. Like, they should be the type of group that should have won on Road to Kingdom. Let's just be straight up here.
Oh.
I like right now. I don't. I obviously we don't know what's going on behind the scenes as to who was on the show, who it was offered to, right?
Right.
But like, Queendom proved that if you're on this show, regardless of what's going on, people are gonna watch it. Especially now because we in like quarantine mode. There isn't much going on, right? So
Yes.
it just sucks because I think Astro is very talented, but it's like the exposure compared to everyone else is like this just puts them a little bit even further behind the groups that are on Road to Kingdom. Because Road to Kingdom is set up where there's these groups that are not the most popular. They're all going to come together and battle it out. And I know a lot of K-pop people are going to look at it. Mm-hmm. And it seems like Astro fit that mold perfectly, but they're not on the show. So it feels like it just pushes them a little bit further behind. And I don't think that's the best thing. But
Are they gonna be on just normal Kingdom maybe?
I don't know. But the way that they're talking about Kingdom, it seems like it's going to be decently successful groups. So we'll have to see.
Interesting.
Because would you say that Astro's bigger than Pentagon for say? Like,
Yeah, I will say they're bigger than the other groups on the show. Like very, very ONEUS and TOO.
yeah, but
Yes.
I know Pentagon might be the outlier, but like Pentagon's a pretty substantial group from Cube, right? Like
Yeah.
that's why this is a little bit weird to me. But let's go back to the song. Anita, what did you think of Knock?
I think I'm gonna mention a lot of stuff that's already been said. Where I really liked the color palette, the set design, everything visually, right? I think it was very simple but very pretty, especially the lighting choices they did. Very much alluded to this moon setting, like planetary system they had going on. I think it was done very well. Um,
It was very galactic and
Yeah.
Star Warsy, May the
oh, a
4th.
little bit, yes.
Yeah.
I do feel like this is very much a continuation of their previous comebacks with this more, I don't know what to call it, this sound. It's like a sentimental pop, because it's not really like hard hitting, like full on dark type of concept that we've seen with other groups. But it's different than what they've began with. I think I've mentioned this before, but Astro to me in the beginning was very much, I guess, almost not quite to what NCT Dream had going on, where they were very much bright, very youthful, very poppy, almost bubblegum type of sound. And they've definitely shifted in the last couple of comebacks they had. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I do feel like with this now, it's kind of becoming where the songs are starting to blur a bit for me with the color palette as well as like the vibe in general that the songs have. But I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad thing to change. It's just that I wish they could differentiate a bit more between songs so that they didn't sound too alike. But that's just my opinion. I also agreed about the choreo. I think for me, I really like when choreography just hits the beats every time.
Yep.
And they definitely did that in the chorus. And I felt like the chorus choreography was particularly like strong. Like it wasn't delicate at all. Like the set design. So it was a bit of a contrast, and I think it balanced out a lot of the sound, like the instrumental. Because I think for me, this might have seen, if I was just listening to the audio, it might have seemed like very kind of more on the mellow side. But if you look at the choreography, it's pretty energetic, like a lot of movement, a lot of very strong movement going on while the chorus is going on. So I don't know. I think it was a pretty good balance as far visually with the song as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of Astro. I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know if they should be on Kingdom because I do feel like they're pretty popular. They don't look it on paper, if that makes sense.
No, that's
I
so
think
true.
they do have a good fan base. It's just not necessarily reflective on like music show wins.
Yeah.
But it would be beneficial to see them on shows like Kingdom.
There's just like a whole plethora of guy groups in like the mid tier right now, right?
Yeah.
There's so many, and I'm happy that Astro does this kind of sentimental thing, but you got to think like Victon did a similar thing, right?
Yeah.
They also had a sentimental song, so it seems like you either go sentimental or you go sterile dark, right? Those seem like the two base songs for most guy groups right now, and it's just like, I don't know. It feels like to me, some of these groups need to start taking bigger risks, because if you're just gonna do what the meta is, how are you supposed to break out, right?
Hard.
Right.
That's just my overall feeling, because the whole point of them releasing these songs is to build momentum, get bigger sales, get more views, win music shows, get awards, get recognition, right? Now, I'm not saying this is not towards Astro. This is towards like a lot of groups. What I'm saying right here, if you all just keep doing the same thing, it's like, how are you supposed to set yourself apart?
Right, because from the listener perspective, right? If I listen to one song of one style and I like it, how much? Why? And there's like 500 other songs of that same style. Why would I go listen to that song when there's already this song that's already gotten my attention? You know?
Yeah, and it's something specifically for the casual fans, because if you're a fan of X group, you're gonna like that song because it's a good song, right? But if you're just a general person, and honestly, the name of the game in K-pop is to get the general fans to listen to your stuff, right?
Right.
The casuals. You're trying to attract casuals at the end of the day, because then you can convert them into fans. That's the whole name of the game here. Now, if I listen to 5 dark songs or I listen to 5 sentimental songs, it's like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just picking and choosing at that point. So it's just a weird situation. But let's move into a song that's very different than everything else this week. So Taeyeon's Happy. She's from SM. Y'all know that. Debuted all the way back in 2007. Last 3 solo songs were Dear Me, Spark, 4 Seasons. 21 music show wins as a solo artist. That's a really healthy amount. So Happy went number 1 on Melon, Genie, Bugs, and Soribara today. Additionally, the background for the song was that it was planned for, I think in March, something like that, earlier
March
in the
9th.
year. Yeah, but I think it was the day it was supposed to release, or around the same time her father passed away, unfortunately. So they pushed it back, so now we're finally getting Happy.
It was supposed to drop on her birthday, which was
Yep.
the day her father passed away.
Exactly. So thanks for the background. But this has like a really retro, classy feel. Like, I think everyone can tell the second they're listening to it. Per usual, vocal level through the roof, right? We're going to be talking a lot about main vocals in the hot take this week. Harold told me Taeyeon is one of the most legendary main vocals of all time. I think that's not even a take, to be fair. So I think this is a great song from Taeyeon. I'm just more of a Spark kind of guy. Like, y'all know that. So it is what it is. I felt that the song's very pleasant to listen to. It's like an easy listening song, right? But for me, it's not like a song that I'm going to be looking up, like, specifically. I'm not going to be, let me listen to Taeyeon's Happy, right? I'm more of a type of guy who'll be like, yo, put on Spark, yo. Woof, right? That's just the type of guy I am. But you might be someone who does like this type of song, so that would be up your alley. It is a song you can groove to. It feels like a song that when you're driving around and it comes on, you're like, oh, I like this, right? But it's not one that I'm gonna just seek out. So those are my takes. Not a lot there, but as I say with a lot of these legendary artists, you're gonna get something good, right? It's just a matter of is it for you? And at this point in her career, I don't think she's trying to pop off by any means.
Right.
I think she's creating music for the sake of being an artist and wanting to express herself. And if this is the direction she wants to go, I'm sure she's going to be competent in what she's doing. And that's exactly what this is. So what about you, Anita? What did you think of Taeyeon's Happy?
I think for me, I looked at the styling of that was done in the video, which was really, really nice, really cute. I loved everything she's wearing. I loved the makeup they did, the set. I think the attention to detail was amazing. I don't know, visually very, very good music video. And because of that, I didn't expect the type of sound, the instrumental that she was doing. So it's a more like a doo-wop kind of modern remaking, which kind of sounds retro to me in the sense that I feel like this sound was very popular a couple of years ago. But it's not bad. I think it's a really how should I say, like a very cute but classy kind of sound, which I think fits with the music video as well.
That describes her as a person. Cute and classy.
Yeah, that too. But I don't know. I enjoyed the song. Like you mentioned, it's very easy listening type of song. For me, it felt kind of short for some reason, and I have to double check to make sure that it was actually like a regular 3-minute type of song. But it still felt very short, and I don't know why. And I kind of wish it was a little longer. I wish it was, I don't know, a little bit more depth, I guess. But it's okay if it's not.
I just wish there was more going on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But yeah, I like you mentioned, I don't think it's meant to be like a main like super strong comeback. I think it's more as a additional thing that she had planned, and then it got pushed back, and now it's a good time to do it. It's very fitting, especially if you're in this kind of spring climate. I think it's fitting for the season. But yeah, very easy listening kind of song. I kind of wish it had a little bit more going on, but I understand if it doesn't, like why it doesn't.
The if you read into the lyrics, obviously it's not like she wrote this knowing her father was going to pass away. That'd be ridiculous. But the lyrics come off as somewhat ironic now, where she's talking about like being happy and like forever. Like it's just ironic that it turned out that way. I saw a lot of people commenting about that based on the context. But what about you, Aaron? What do you think of Taeyeon's Happy?
I mean, I don't know. You guys kind of said everything I wanted to say. Even the last
That's fine, because we're running a little bit long on the first half. To be honest,
the last thing I was saving was the lyric thing, and you said it at the last moment.
Oh, sorry, fam.
It's okay. It's a doo-wop kind of song. R&B, jazzy. It was big in the 70s, 80s. Had a bit of a lift off a couple years back with like Lily Allen. Stuff like that. Good stuff. I like it. The drums were a little intrusive. I'll add that. The drums are a little intrusive. It's a little too much for me personally. What did they really have to use an 808 machine kind of drum? I don't know. I feel like if they had gone with more of a classy, typical jazzy drum, I feel like that would have been more appropriate. Did they really have to do like a modern rendition? I don't know. Doo-wop itself is fine. You don't have to slap on 808s, kicks and snares on every kind of genre. It works. I don't personally like it, but that's on a personal level. Whatever. Kind of going back to the thematic thing you kind of touched upon earlier. The lyrics are kind of opposite of what happened, right? It's her father did pass away on her birthday, the day she was supposed to release the song. And I don't know. I don't know if ironic is the right word because I felt like almost like she was accepting and like it felt like an American funeral, not a Korean funeral.
I only said it was ironic because this song was done before that happened. That was what I was saying.
Right. And like
it was all ready to go. It just this happened, so she pushed it back. It's just like I thought the timing was like it adds another layer to the song.
Right. And like normally this song would have been like to me, but like because I'm aware of this, like the context and what happened, and even though none of that was obviously intended, it has that like emotional oomph to it, like I'm listening to it and it's like wow, like
it's like bittersweet though.
Bittersweet.
At this point.
And you know what? And kind of going back to what I was gonna say about the funeral, it feels like an American funeral, not a Korean one. And what I say by that is like when I go to a Korean funeral, it's like everyone's sad, everyone's crying their guts out, it's like, oh yeah, let's go. When I go to an American funeral, it's kind of lighthearted, it's like, he was it's sad,
reminiscing
but like
type of feeling.
Right, reminiscing, you're willing to make jokes. He's like, you know what, he was that kind of guy. He would have said that, he would have, joked around like this, ha ha ha, like it's...
If I die, don't let Warren give my eulogy, Anita. Please.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Anita.
That's kind of what it felt like. It felt very... Shut up! It was a good moment. It was a very like, unfortunate things happen. Yeah. But it felt very heartwarming, and even though none of that was intended on the marketing end, it happened. It was nice. Yeah, and
yeah.
it felt like she was singing a song of like, hey, it's all right, you know, it's good, it's all right, happy.
All right, happy. All right,
Happy,
let's
Taeyeon.
move on.
Good
So that was
thoughts.
all the big releases this week. Let's move on to a quick rewind, which is a segment where the crew will go back and see if their views have changed on any recent releases as promotions are wrapping up. So back on episode 82, we reviewed Signatures, Asa, MCND Spring, Winners Remember, and A-Pink Dum Dum. The only song that I've listened to significantly since we've recorded episode 82 is A-Pink's Dum Dum. I think it's a really good. I like it more than I did back then, and I was pretty positive about it back when we reviewed it. I think it's a great song, but that's the only song out of those four that I've really had a lot of listens to since then. What about you guys?
Yeah, I can't say I have a big change of opinion.
Asa. I've been listening to that a lot.
You like it?
What?
I do.
Oh,
It's
Anita.
And A-Pink, yeah.
Okay,
Really?
A-Pink, I see. Okay, if would you was this? I'm just really taken back. Would you play would you play Asa by your signature in public?
In
You know,
public? What do
you
you
know,
mean?
Let's say you're hanging out with your buddies, you know.
I want to
and-
share it with someone.
Yeah. Like let's say it's one of those, you know, remember those nights where you used to hang out in person, you know, and we would like, you know, put on a music video on Chromecast and like we just like watch them. Would this be one of those songs? You know, like
Maybe. I mean, when we reviewed it, I actually shared it with I think it was my sister at the time, because I wanted to know, like, what do you think? Because I also felt very confused by the, what was it, the pre-chorus that I mentioned when we reviewed it, and I still really like it, and that's the only thing keeping me coming back to the song.
Anita, if
Okay.
you had played this back in my apartment back in the day in Ann Arbor, you would have got roasted, fam.
Oh.
Just
yo,
letting
she would have
know.
kicked you out.
Dang.
I
Wait,
mean,
okay, real quick. Did your sister approve of
Yeah,
the
did your
song?
sister like this song?
I think she thought it was okay. She, like, I told her, like, can you guess what part I really like? And she was like, it's a pre-chorus, right? And like, yes.
Well, that's
It's a
fair.
pre-chorus.
It does have a very good pre-chorus though. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Was your sister being nice by saying it was all right, or like
Yeah, she's being honest.
okay?
Okay. I don't think it's that bad, but
You can
alright.
disagree. You can disagree.
I mean, I personally know your sister. I'm kind of judging a little bit here.
But all right. So in terms of my K-pop oldie of the week, it's Nine Muses is Wild. I think that's a really good music video.
What a wild pick!
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that, but so Nine Muses was this group back in the day. They had 9 members. They were all ridiculously tall. That was like their thing. A lot of them were like former models and things like that they just put into a K-pop group. Never really popped off as much as they should have, other than what's her name, Gyeongri, and right now Sarah Ryu, who's doing YouTube. Those are the two that are like notable right now. But go check out Nine Muses. They have a lot of good songs. I think Hurt Locker is one of their songs. I could be getting that name wrong. Let me look that up real quick. Hurt Locker, that is one of their songs. Yeah, go look that one up too. You know, it is what it is. Check them out. In terms of show winners now, Anita, hit us with them.
Okay, so for the show on Tuesday, Solar Spit It Out had its first win. So congrats to her. On Wednesday on Show Champion, Thursday on M Countdown, and Friday on Music Bank, Got Seven's Not by the Moon had its first 3 wins. So 3 wins for them so far. And then for the rest of the week, A-Pink, Dum Dum, won. So that was on Saturday on Show Music Core, and Inkigayo on Sunday.
Yo, A-Pink be killing it. 8 wins?
That's
Like,
8 wins total.
That's impressive, to be honest.
That's wild.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's the second time you made the pun in 5 minutes. But we are now at the end of I messed this up again. We are now at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 85. I made the same mistake last week.
What a wild mistake!
If you are listening to the audio version, sit tight. And if you are on YouTube, head over to the episode 85 part 2 video. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.